Good morning, everyone. My name is Bisola Orimalade, and I'm the marketing manager here at Mercurius IT. Thank you for joining this live event with Tasklet Factory's business development account manager, Mickey Vanson. Who are we? Mercurius IT is a Microsoft solution partner. We provide end-to-end services in the areas of consulting, implementation, BAU support for Dynamics 365, Business Central, finance and supply chain, and all aspects of CRM, such as Dynamics 365 for sales, marketing, customer service, field service, project operations, and HR. We also provide managed services on Azure. We are also partners of solution partners such as Tasklet to help you transform your business. We're a 19-year-old British company and we're based in Milton Keynes, UK. During this webinar, you will learn how Tasklet can take your business to the next level by showcasing recently introduced features from Tasklet Mobile WMS that are designed to streamline your manufacturing business. Discover how Tasklet's latest enhancements in pack and ship production and product printing functionality can transform your workflow, boost efficiency, and elevate your warehouse management to new heights. If you have any questions during this webinar, please do not hesitate to use the question and answer section and we'll answer your questions at the end. I will now hand you over to Mickey, who will take you through the webinar. Thank you.
So, hello everybody, my name is Mickey. I'm a business developer and also a partner account manager here at Tasklet Factory. Thank you for coming today. Hopefully you will enjoy the next 30 minutes. I know we don't have a lot of time, so I would rather just jump straight into it. But yeah, as I said, I'm a business developer and partner account manager, and I usually take care of Poland and also the Finnish market, and then I also have Mercurius and some other partners in the UK. So yeah, that's me. So let's just jump straight into it. So who is Tasklet? Tasklet Factory is a company doing mobile WMS for Microsoft Dynamics, and we were founded back in 2008. But before also jumping into that, I just want to go through the agenda here, where we'll go through the advantages of Tasklet extension, where we'll talk about pack and ship and report print, as Bisola said, and then we'll also in the live demo show assembly and also production orders. So that's basically what we're going to go through today. Hopefully we can jump into the roadmap as well in the end and also answer some questions. So yeah, just moving on and just extending to what I said before, that Tasklet was founded back in 2008 by our CEO, Peter List, who was a previous NAV developer, and he saw a gap in the market for a user-friendly mobile WMS system, where we integrate straight into the BC and Dynamics environments. We also do AX and FO, but we mainly focus on BC at the moment. We have a global partner network consisting of more than 1,600 customers in plus 45 countries. This actually have increased a bit lately. Then we have an office here in Denmark where we're probably around, I would say, 50 people. Then we are around 8 people in the US office in Tampa in Florida. We're also a hardware advisor and reseller, which means that we sell Zebra, Honeywell, and Datalogic devices, which needs to be certified for you guys to use in your warehouse. We can advise you upon which you would need to buy, but we can also sell these directly to you, and we do this. We do this with Mercurius, and we have done this a lot of times, so this should not be of any hassle for us. Moving straight ahead, these are the numbers. We have more than 20,000 sold licenses, and we are also like 60 plus employees in more than 40 countries, and we do everything within warehousing. So from the inbound to the outbound processes with internal processes as well. Of course, today I would just like to show you a brief things of these, where I'll show you receive and also show you the report print function and how we just print within the mobile handheld device. Then we'll also look into pack and ship, where you will need to choose different providers that you will use as a customer, and then we would need Mercurius to set this up with the right set of connectors and shipping portals. But all of this you can ask Mercurius on after. Then we'll also show assembly and production orders out here, which is very beneficial for you guys to use if you have a manufacturing company. Moving on, our value proposition. So usually I would say these 6 things to our customers. Some of you might be existing, some of you might be new. So it's a good thing to just understand our value proposition. We have an offline capability, which means that if you're inside a receiving order or inside like a picking order, you can work offline, meaning that we can register all of the lines down onto the handheld device. And then you can actually, if you have weak access points or just a warehouse that you don't receive internet all of the time, then you can actually work offline, receive, pick, do all of the quantity and do all of the registrations with the barcode scanner. And then you can actually save this for later, but you would of course need internet connection to post this. This is of course relevant because we want to update BC real time with this mobile device, so you don't need to use pen and paper and type this into the computer afterwards. We integrate to the standard of BC, which doesn't mean that we don't do customizations or modifications. We definitely do that, and we know that all of you customers are different in some way. So this varies, and we can do a lot of extensions, and we can do a lot of modification, but that depends on both Mercurius and what we can offer you. But normally with 1600 plus customers, we probably have seen the issues or the things that you would like to have implemented before, and then we can actually figure out the best way to do this. We have a quick and easy installation, which is kind of fluffy to say because of course it depends on how your warehouse is looking and how your implementation will come to look. But Tasklet is relatively easy and quick to set up. But the warehouse processes and how you would trigger everything within BC, that is of course what takes a lot of time. We are very user friendly, so I would say 20 to 30 minutes with an experienced coworker or employee, then you should be good to go with using Tasklet, because we have all of these steps and setups inside the mobile device. So we prompt you to go through these steps, scan this item, scan this lot number, scan this serial number, and then also put on this bin, take it from this bin, stuff like that, etc. So it's super user friendly and good to know. We also got outstanding support, but instead of talking about this, we will rather show you it, because we have around 18 hours, I would say, online hours a day. Of course, we also have a critical hotline. If your warehouse is messing up or anything like that, then you'll call directly to our CEO or COO. So we are here to help, definitely. And we also have a very big support team of around 10 to 12 people. And compared to the size of Tasklet, that is actually the biggest department in Tasklet Factory. Moving on, we were going to go through 4 things today. One of them will be pack and ship, where we can actually print out labels and contact shipping portals directly from the mobile device. And to our understanding, we are one of the very few customers, or sorry, ISVs that can do that with a mobile device. So this is relatively good if you want to have Tasklet. But we can pick directly into cardboard and box to ship. We can also pick into multiple reusable totes using tote picking, and we can also pick multiple picks for same shipment. This depends and varies on how you do the flow inside your warehouse. Some customers are using big wagons where you have like 60 customers, and then they pick multiple for multiple customers at the same time. So we also can enable you guys to do this, saving some time. Yeah, this is just briefly to show it quickly, jumping through the slides, but it's basically just what I said. But for the sake of this demo and also for the webinar, these slides will be inside the video that you'll receive after. So it's very good that we go through them. So yeah, these are the examples. Then we also have something called Repo Print, which is now going to switch out with the previous function that we have called Cloud Print, which needs a Tasklet license. So it will actually cost a little bit more to have the old version than the new version called Repo Print, which also makes us available to print out on all different kind of printers inside your warehouse. So it doesn't matter. You don't need to have a separate printer that we used to require customers to have. Now you can print out using BC reports inside BC directly from the handheld device. You can do this real time, and then you can print out item labels, license plates, license plate contents directly from the handheld device. You would need to have BC16 or later, or you would need to have BC20 or later to actually use the templates that we have customized and pre-built into the system. But we also have templates or template guides that you can use after that. Then we also have a free trial that we just recently introduced. I just briefly want to touch upon it. You can download the free trial inside App Stores. You can also download it in Google Play Store using a certified Android device. And then you can actually use Tasklet free of charge on a sandbox environment. So you cannot pull this one into production, but you can use it. All of the free and standard features of Tasklet you can use. But of course, you cannot do any customizations or anything like that. But it's a very good way to come up and start using Tasklet. So we have used a lot of time this year to implement and build this. And now it's actually already available, which came out this May. But yeah, now let's jump straight into the demo. I just need to switch screens here. As you can see, right now in front of you should be a screen of the Tasklet mobile device. I have it right here in my hand. So this is the login screen and I have my endpoint selected, MSV. I'll just jump straight into it. I'll press login. So right here, right now, you would see the login screen or the main functionality screen of Tasklet. As you can see, we have a lot of functionalities here. And that's also very good of me to delve into that. You have all of the functionalities available from the get-go with Tasklet. So one license, you get full range of functionality. We don't have the possibility of only issuing a license where you can only get like a light version. Of course, now you can download the trial, but you would receive full functionality with one license and Tasklet. Of course, we can make sure inside BC that if you have employees that are only going to see certain or only a few of these functionalities, we can set this up so that employees don't have full functionality or full access to all of the functionalities. But yeah, I want to jump into receive here because I want to receive something inside the warehouse and I would need to use this inside pick. And then we will jump down into pack and ship where we'll actually print out a shipping label for the pick function. And then we'll go into production and assembly order after. So right now, right here, I'll go into receive straight away. As you can see here, we have 11 receiving orders, which can be both purchase orders, it can be sales return orders, it can be inbound transfer orders as well. And basically there could be 100 here. But right now we only have 11 and we have a filter up here in the top right corner where we can filter on location, purchase order number, and also expected receiving date, and also assign different users. Of course, there's no need for me to do this because I got the full functionality already. So with 11 receiving orders, you could, like I said, you could have 100 inside your warehouse. So instead of just, should narrow into and pick the right receiving order, you can actually, if you have a pallet in front of you, if you can imagine that inside the warehouse in the receiving zone, you can actually scan a barcode, scan an item, which I do right now, and you can see the barcode number up in the top. Now I've actually filtered down the receiving orders to two different ones, two purchase orders, because I only have this item within two of these. If I move on to scan an item that is only inside one receiving order, you can see right now it jumps straight into it. So this is what we call intelligent selection, and this narrows down the receiving orders so it's much easier for the employee to filter upon. As you can see here, we have all of the lines. We have the item description. We also have the item number. We also have some pictures that you can switch out, and you can actually do this directly from the handheld device as well. We have the quantity that we need to receive, and in the bottom we have different shortcuts. So in the bottom here we have add cross-reference that you can actually press, and then you can scan in another barcode if, for example, this item receive a new barcode because it may be not a new color, but it might have a new design or something on the label. So you would need to have a new barcode for this one, and then you can scan this directly into BC. But we're not doing this right now. You can also attach an image, which means that, for example, if you take a picture of this pallet or this item in front of you, right now you can see I'm sitting inside a room here in Denmark. I can press and take a picture. I can say yes, then I can say cloudy, or I can say bad weather because we have that at the moment, or I can just say that's a fail or an error. We put in error here. Okay, we just go on I have fat fingers. I just accept it, and now you can say, I can press the correct sign. Now we actually have an attachment down here in the bottom, which means that now we have some SharePoint folder or anything like that, where we can actually have attachments attained to. Of course, this is also very important if you have outbound orders and you want to take a picture of the pallet that you send to a vendor or to a customer, then it could be nice to document, okay, this is a pallet full of items that we're sending right now. So this is a feature that we put in. This is also from where you can access directly the print function of Tasklet, and here we can use report prints and print out directly using the BC reports inside BC. If you press this one, right now I have the possibility to print out item labels and license plate labels. Of course, if you have more or other labels that you would need to print out, you can set up this inside BC with the partner, Mercurius, and then you can actually press this one. Right now I want to print out an item label. I want to use the unit of measure of boxes. Yeah, we can just stick to the pre-default here and use 10 of them and print out one. Right now it will come up with an error because I don't have any printer set up for this demo purpose. But if you have set up the printer, it will print out the label and then you can put it on the item. But yeah, if we move on now, I'll just start receiving the items here in the receiving order. So if I have the pallet in front of me and the Marabou orange, I can scan this one. I'm expected to receive 10, so I received 10, and now you can already see that we're green and we're good to go. Now that's completely picked. You can also over receive if you set it available for this. You can also under receive, and then when you post the receiving order, then this line or this one item will be left on the receiving order, and then maybe tomorrow you're going to receive that last item, or maybe one person inside the backend office would need to close this receiving order down depending on what kind of agreement you have with the vendor. But we can also move on now to the Marabou Pistachio. Let's say I can only find 12 here, then I put in 12. Every time this comes up, I scan here in my demo environment, just so you know that. If I find the remaining 3, I can scan it again and put in 3. If I scan an item that is not inside the receiving order, like I do right now, you will come up with an error. It will come up with an error, sorry. Then we also have item number tracking, a lot number tracking with this Pucker Peppermint tea here. I can scan the tea. Then I will need to set in the expiration date of this tea. I can either do it manually or I can press the calendar here. I'll just take a random date. I'll move on doing this. Then I will need to scan a lot number. You can either put this in manually or you can scan a lot number that you already have, and then you can receive the remaining 15. We also support serial number tracking, which we can support via normal 1D barcodes. We can also use 2D barcodes and GS1 data matrix, where you can actually receive all of the serial numbers in one go, which could be quite handy if you have like 100 serial numbers. But right now we only have 3. So I scan the barcode, then I scan the first serial number, the second serial number, and the third serial number. And now we're actually good to go and post this. You can also long press this bottom line, go into registrations, and then you can see the different serial numbers that I actually received here. But yeah, let's post this for the sake of the demo. I have a delivery node number that I can scan. If you don't have this, you just simply skip this step. Now it's updating BC real time, and we are actually down now to 10 receiving orders. It's the same flow we have inside put away, so I'll not show you this, where we put it out onto the bins, where you just simply scan the item and then you scan the bin where you're putting it away on. You set this up inside BC. Maybe you have bins that you're required to put away on, but you could also have bins that are just randomly chosen by you guys as an employee. Now I'll go into pick because we need to use this pick down into pack and ship. Right now we have 10 picking orders. We can also scan an item here to go into different picks, but I would rather take the pick number 27 down here, which is one customer, 3 different lines, and this is set up to use pack and ship. So I'll go into this one. As you can see right here, I need to scan the Marabou Pistachio. So I do this, then I scan the bin where I'm taking it, and this is this bin. So I'm scanning this bin, and then I actually need to scan a tote now because I'm going around inside the warehouse and I need to scan this item and put it into a tote that we can use to print out a label and to pack down these items. So I scan my box 1 here, then I put into the quantity of 3, then I move on to scan the Pucker Peppermint tea. which I have right here. Then I scan the bin that is required here. If I scan another bin, it comes up with a validation mistake, so you know it's a mistake. I don't want to proceed anyway, no, because I want to use the correct bin. So I use the correct one. I scan the lot number, which is required, and then I can either put this into a new box or use my previous one. I just used the previous one, so I just scan that one more time. Then the last item here, if I can move on, is the Marabou orange. I scan this one, and then I need to scan the bin again. Scan that, and then actually I would say that this tote is now full now of items. So I'd rather pick a new reusable tote. And in this sort of circumstance, if you can say it like that, a tote is just a reusable plastic container. Here we have, it can be pallets, it can be boxes, it could be anything. We just call it tote. And right now I'm walking around inside the warehouse with 2 different reusable plastic totes and putting down items before I put it into the shipping zone or into the packing station zone. So now I would rather scan a new box because I want to put it inside a new one because I don't have room for more in the first one. I say yes, and now I'm posting this order, and then we're done with this picking order. I know it's a bit fast, but we need to cover this inside the webinar, so you can always ask questions after. Now I go into the pack and ship function, and right now you can see that we have the fairway sound up here in top, which is completely picked, and it's with the shipping agent of DHL, which this customer have chosen for this specific pick. Maybe it's going to a place where they need to use DHL, so this is where we use it. I tap into this one, and in here you can see, okay, this shipping order is going with box 1 and box 2, where we can actually press on these and see the content which we picked before. So this actually matches what we picked before. So I can actually press these one, and then I can decide, okay, I need to put this into different boxes, and is it a large box, is it a medium box, or is it a small box? But before doing this, I would actually like to use one card box to ship out these items for the same customer. So I will need to take these 2 reusable totes and combine these into a new license plate or a new tote. Then I can actually pour every item from this one over into my card box, and then I can actually press this one, and then I can put in, okay, this is we say this is a big box because we have 2 reusable totes here. I move on, and then I need to put in the weight. Let's say that 20 kilos. I do that. The length of the measures is 25 centimeters, which is times 15 and times 25 again. This is pre-default inside BC, depending on how you set it up. If I had chosen the medium box, we didn't need to put in measures because the medium box has only one size, and that is already defaulted inside BC, set up by the partner, or set up by you. Then I can actually press post here. And now it doesn't look like much, but we actually contacted the shipping agent straight away. So now we're printing out a shipping label that we can put on the box that we just packed, and now we're placing this order inside like a shipping zone, and then DHL is coming to pick it up, depending on the time zone that you set for these things to be picked up. And this is how pack and ship is set up. And of course, I would say that you would need to reach out to Mercurius to actually set this up, because they will need to pick the right connectors and the right shipping portals for you guys to use, depending on which kind of providers that you would use. So I would actually do it the opposite way around. I would always start from the bottom, or from the shipping providers that you would need to use, and then we can always figure out which shipping portals and which connectors we would use inside BC to set this up to function straight away. Just before we are done with the demo, we need to go into production and assembly. We will go into assembly first. I'll press into it, and as you can see right here, this is already partially picked because this is orange, and I did this beforehand to save some time. Right in here we have a chocolate display that we need to assemble by picking different kinds of chocolates inside our warehouse. So I go into this one. Right now we would need to pick, we would need to make 10 chocolate boxes, which equals 250 orange chocolate, 250 mint chocolate. We can actually go down in the bottom on the shortcut and press adjust. We would only like 5 card boxes or display boxes. When we do this, right now we will actually automatically decrease the volume or the expected quantity to pick on these other different items, so we can fill in the chocolate display properly. So this is an automatic function that we have. Right now I would go in and pick the remaining 3 here on the bin that we need them from. I'll say yes, the expiration date matches. I will scan lot number. Right now, let's see if we can do this. Just put in a random one. Sometimes it doesn't allow you for it if you have set it up like that. But right now, this is good. So now we would need to go and pick the orange chocolate. I'll tap into it. I'll go and scan the bin where it is, which you can do manually by using your finger, but you can also scan it. I'll move on, scan the lot number, say yes, put in the quantity, and say yes again. And as you can see, this is how it functions. This is how it works. When I have picked everything, then we're done, and then we can actually go down, and then we can post this assembly order, and then we have made 5 chocolate displays. But to move on, I would just leave this page because I think you get the point of now of how this works. Then I would jump into production, where we both have the option to use production orders without routing and with routing. The same as before, I cheat a little bit beforehand. I went into the one with routing, which you can see right here, where we have the possibility to consume items, but also register output inside production orders. And it's good to say that you would need like the premium license of BC or premium Microsoft license to actually use production orders also on a handheld device. So we'll go into one with routing because we would need to register time as well. Right in here, we can register or consume the items, we consume the items inside here. So this is the production department. I would need to right now we have already all of these cocoa mass and sugar and milk. These are already inside our production zone, which have the same bin. So we actually initially we had to pick all of these things and put it inside the production zone before. So now we're consuming all of these items, which is now inside the production zone. So if I press into it, it's the same flow here. You scan where you take it. Right now we have a default production zone, so all of the items will be on the same bin. We'll scan the lot number, which I need to put in here. Of course, if you have another lot number, you can scan that, and if it's a lot number that doesn't match, it will come up with an error. So yes, right now we have registered 100 cocoa mass here, and then we can actually move on. And for the sake of the demo, I'll just do this on everything so you can see that we can actually go down and we can post this in the button. I already did find the mint flavor and the milk beforehand, so this is already done. We can also put in a lower number of gold foil wrap if let's say okay 20 of these is okay to pack 40, then we move on. Then we can actually post this. And now we successfully posted it. And now we can move out again. As you can see, we lacked the remaining 20 down here. We can actually go in, and then we can put in these, and then we can post this as well. And this then will come down to 0 as well. And then we're good to go. Then we can go out again. Then we can register the output of this routing as well. Inside here, we have the production department, but we also have the packing department. So now we will need to produce what you actually consumed before. Right here, we have the possibility to register the output, which is the mint chocolate, but we can also time track and register time, which can be both a setup time and also runtime. If we just press this one, we'll go through all of the steps down here in the button. We can also close it down, and we can go through every step by just pressing the shortcuts in the button. Actually, right now I want to start time tracking because I want to time track how fast I am at actually producing this. So I go into time tracking. I will start my timer, pressing setup, start time. Then I'll say yes, and right now you can see the icon coming up out here, and now it's actually tracking. Then we can go to time tracking again. I'll stop the setup timer. We say yes, and now we only use 1 minute to produce this one. It's the same with the runtime. You could put this in. You can also register scrap. If we have like 2 of these have a scrape code of error, we can put this in. It might be defect, and then we have scrapped down 2 items which are registered into BC. But right now I'll just press it so we can actually register the production. We have 0 setup time here. We had 1 minute before. We have like 5 minutes of runtime. scrap quantity is 2. We put in the scrap code here again, which is now inside the flow instead of the shortcuts. Then we put it in. Then we have actually finished all the quantity right here. And then we can go down and then we can actually finish operation. We'll confirm this. And now we're done with the production department inside the production orders. And then we can do the same inside the packing department right here in the bottom. But this is actually how we would do production inside Tasklet. Sorry for this to be a bit fast, but this was necessary to come through these 30 minutes. Of course, as you can see here, we also have the possibility to count, which is called planned count. We have unplanned count as well. We have planned move and unplanned move, which basically makes you available to count inside the warehouse and update BC real time. This one, this count and this move, you have a warehouse manager that sends out a count sheet or a move sheet that an employee would need to use to count or move something inside the warehouse, and then this registration will be sent back into the warehouse manager's office, and then he can confirm it or resend it out into the employee again on the scanner on the handheld device to do one more count or do one more move if this doesn't add up. We can also, of course, use license plates, and we can adjust quantity negatively, do bulk move, one pallet to another pallet, one bin to another bin. This is what we do inside Tasklet. And yeah, of course, there's also more to come. But I would say this is what I had for you today of showing how our mobile device works. So now we will move over to some questions, I think.
Thanks, Mickey. We have one question.
Yeah.
Can multiple people book time to one production order?
It should be possible for different people to work inside one production order, yes.
Brilliant.
If
okay.
That is the answer to the question.
Okay, that's fine. I've got a few more questions, actually.
Okay.
The first one is, which kind of new features are you going to introduce in the near future?
Okay, so in the near future, I don't know if I should pull up my PowerPoint again, but we can also just go through it. So in the near future, we'll come to have inbound license plate as well. Right now, we only have outbound license plating, which is like a license plate for you guys who doesn't know it. It's like some sort of ID number for a pallet or for a tote that you actually register maybe items into, and you can follow this along and actually grab some items and put in some data which you can use, and then you can move this around inside the warehouse. But the inbound process will come sooner or later, which means that we might be available to or able to scan like one license plate when it comes into the warehouse from a vendor. And then we can actually just move this pallet directly into our warehouse and maybe ship this pallet straight away again with a lot of different items on. So this inbound license plating is coming. And then we also have something called easy app configuration, which means this is basically more for the partners, but eventually will help you as customers as well, because the partners will have an easier time doing customizations, modifications. Instead of doing hard, deep coding, they can actually use like some sort of program or easy configuration to do some of these modifications and customizations. Fairly easy, I would say. At least it's easier than doing the hard coding stuff, and this will make you guys quicker to use these modifications inside the warehouse as well. So I would say these are the two main features that comes into Tasklet relatively in the future.
Okay, thank you, Mickey. Before I continue, can you just put your slide back up to the last slide, because I think there's a technical problem when you removed it. And then I can ask you the last question.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Let me share my screen again. Right here. That was the demo screen, I think.
Yeah.
Do you want to see?
So that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so I've got another question here. It says, can you do an unplanned move while doing a planned count? E.g., if you are counting and something is in the wrong place, or if it's not showing on the count because the system thinks the bin is empty, but there is actually something there.
Yeah. We actually have the possibility to have shortcuts in the bottom. So inside, for example, if we locate an item just by scanning an item, you can actually from the bottom, you have you can count up the inventory, but you can also move the item to a new bin if you find it somewhere just in the middle of the warehouse. But yeah, we also have shortcuts from within move and also from within count, where you can both, like vice versa. From within move, you should be able to count, and from within count, you should be able to move using the shortcuts in the button by scanning the item. Yes, we have the possibility of do that.
Okay, I'll ask you one more. How many mobile devices can I add to the mobile WMS solutions?
So Tasklet, you can either go with only one license or one handheld device in your warehouse, but you can also go with 1,000. It doesn't matter. Our system works anyway, and we recently have customers coming to ask us this question because they might have used something before. I don't have the name of this specific brand, but where there were issues with a lot of item, a lot of licenses, a lot of handheld devices in the warehouse, but we have never experienced problems with like the number of mobile devices in the warehouse. So this is not an issue. You can just add as many as you want.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. Do you have anyone has any more questions for Mickey, please? If not, then if you think of anything later, just email them to me and I'll ask Mickey for a reply. So that's the end of the webinar. Thank you so much for joining. For further inquiries, or if you need to chat about anything, you can contact our account manager, Hamed Makhtari, or you can email him at hamed.m@mercurius.it. But I will put all of this in an email to you after the webinar. Thank you so much for joining. And if you're looking for any other webinars, we have a catalogue of webinars on our website. If you just go to resources and then go to watch on demand, and you can watch as many webinars as you like. So thank you very much for joining. I will see you in the next one. Bye.